Welcome, everybody, to Inside the Cardinal Playbook, the coaches show for William Jewell College Athletics. I'm Rick Cole, and Larry Holley joins us in our first segment today. The Cardinals splitting games this past week, winning against Quincy and dropping the game against Truman State. Would you please start out, talk about the last time we played Truman State, in your recollection at least, because it's been a while.
Well, it's been a while. I played against Truman State, Northeast Missouri State, when I played here back in the 60s, and didn't have a good experience. Lost to them my junior year here at home by 3, and lost to them on the road by 8 my senior year. My junior year, I remember, because it's the only time in my playing career, high school or college, that I really couldn't play because of an asthma attack. I am an asthmatic. I don't have a lot of problems with it, but growing up I did, and we played them on December 21st, 1965, and the fall of my junior year, and school was out, nobody was around, and the gym was really cold. And I'm in warm-ups, and I'm struggling to breathe, and start the game, and I can't catch my breath, and Coach Nelson took me out. I got one of my fraternity brothers to go down to the fraternity house and find my atomizer, and brought it to me, tried it, didn't help. And so that loss is on me, because I figure I could have probably helped him at least 4 points worth, and we could have gotten a home win. But I do remember that. I went to Northeast Missouri State 3 straight summers. So I played against those guys in the summer, lived in Kirksville for those back then 10-week summer sessions, and I did that because my second teaching area was business ed, and that was required as a phys ed major, and so William Jewell didn't offer typing and shorthand and business math, and so I went up there and took all my business courses in 3 summers and played a lot of basketball in their facility against their guys, and that was a good experience. But our game against Truman State. Truman State is very good. This is their first year in our league, and to be 14-3 in our league, which at the top is certainly the best in the nation, with 5 in the top 23 last week. That's quite a testament to what they've done, and they have a young man who was Conference Player of the Week. They have a lot of length, and they made it really tough on our 3-point shooters, and they blocked several shots inside, so we were struggling to score. We're averaging 80-some points a game. They held us to 52. Held them to 67, held them to 30 in the second half. So while I wasn't totally happy with our defense, to hold somebody like that to 67, you would think you'd have a chance to win, but their defense really shut us down.
You're a little bit surprised that they haven't been recognized more on the national level. I mean, they're not. I think maybe they got 1 vote for the top 25.
I think so. They struggled the last few years in the MIAA, and that might be part of it. They're new to the scene on our side, and when you have teams like Drury, which won the national title last year, Bellarmine, which won it in 11, and then Southern Indiana and Indianapolis, and Lewis, and Parkside is the only undefeated team in league play, and they're not even in the top 25.
Exactly. Good
so
point.
It's a great league. Truman certainly should be getting some recognition. They had a great early season win against Northwest Missouri State on a neutral site. Northwest is in first place in the MIAA, so they would certainly be deserving of, I would think, top 25 consideration.
I'll tell you, you asked me a couple weeks ago who I thought were the best teams we'd face. I've got to throw Truman in there. They are very good. And like you said, they do a lot of things both inside and outside.
Well, they probably defended us. A lot of teams have defended us well, but they just took all of our scoring opportunities and made it very difficult to get shots off. And about the only player that I thought, had a really good game for us was Dwight Sistrunk. Dwight got in double-figure scoring, and our 5'10" point guard had 12 rebounds. And
a double-double.
A double-double.
Yep, with rebounds.
You would think probably points and assists, with him, and not rebounds. But again, give Truman credit. They had it scouted well, and they just took almost everything away from us except Dwight's penetration into the lane and at the rim.
A loss on Saturday against Truman, but a little bit better news against Quincy on Thursday night with the win there. Broke a 4-game losing streak, I believe, and it was much needed at that point.
Well, it was. Quincy, boy, you talk about being snake bit. You look at coming into that game, they had lost. They haven't won a road game, but they had lost their last 4 conference games on the road by 1, by 6, by 1, and by 3. I mean, they could have won all those games. They could have beaten us. I think our game was maybe 7. And it was, we hit some big free throws at the end, got some big rebounds. Could have gone the other way. Unfortunately, we held on. And this league is so good. And the teams at the bottom, which includes us right now in the lower half, we almost beat Indy at Indy,
right.
A couple of weeks ago. But you've got to get over that hump. And I know Quincy's very frustrated. We're certainly frustrated. Anybody in the bottom half of our league who are getting close. You take this past weekend, Maryville and Umsel, whom we're going to play this week. Obviously, both of them go to Drury, defending national champ, and lose by 3.
Yeah, come close.
So it's it's a great league, and you better be ready to strap it on every night.
Umsel on Thursday night, and then Maryville on Saturday. Give us just a quick preview of them.
Well, I haven't watched a lot of video on either, quite honestly. I'm trying to correct what we're doing and, looking at Quincy and Truman video to see what we need to correct. But I'll get that done a little bit later. But Umsel, again, new coach, Bob Sunvold, veteran, outstanding coach, former head coach at University of Central Missouri, former head coach at UMKC, top assistant at Iowa State, Toledo. We're glad to see him back in the league, and he took Steve Tapmeyer's place and doing a really nice job, but again, this league is really good. We had a nice win at Umsel last year. It'll be a task force again. They have good talent. They'll play great man-to-man defense, and Bob will have them ready to go, no doubt about that.
Maryville on Saturday. Know anything about them at all?
Well, watched them practice early in the year. They were the visiting team at the Missouri Basketball Coach Association clinic in Columbia, and they practice for everybody. We got to do that about 4 years ago with our squads, and they're talented. They're probably more talented than they were last year. And again, Saturday they had a chance to beat Drury at Drury, and that's pretty special. Enough said right there. But they're good. They beat Lewis. I think that might be Lewis's only loss in the league. They might have 2 losses now, but Lewis is nationally ranked. Maryville beat them. And we haven't fared real well at Maryville the last couple of years, so we'll have to be on top of our game to be in a position to win that one as well.
That is head coach Larry Holley inside the Cardinal Playbook. And when we return, we'll visit with assistant women's basketball coach Steve Broughton about the Cardinals and their weekend. We'll be back after this.
A world without breast cancer is a world with more birthdays. And signing up for the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk will help us get there faster. The American Cancer Society invests in groundbreaking breast cancer research, and we're part of every community. In fact, 1 in 2 women newly diagnosed with breast cancer turns to us for support. Sign up today at makingstrideswalk.org. Together, we can finish the fight against breast cancer.
My name is Jesse Limeculer, CEO of Belvoir Winery, 110 years in the making. We provide a unique experience in that it's a historic building. It's 110 years old, and we allow people to bring in their own caterers to have a nice formal sit-down meal or something that's social and very casual. We let them do basically whatever they want as far as their event goes. We have the fountain running and have the gazebo up for all the wedding days and special days out here. I'm Jesse Limeculer, the CEO of Belvoir Winery.
When the Fuel Saver program first came out, I was a little concerned that we would start buying things that we didn't need just to save on fuel, and we haven't at all. Our gas budget monthly has gone down, and we spend at least the same amount on groceries, if not less.
Usually when I'm done shopping, I text him to tell him how much I saved. I saved 60 cents off a gallon of gas this week and spent $49.
I think we're averaging about $100 less a month on fuel. You can't beat it because you're already using the stuff anyway, and so you might as well be saving money while you're doing it.
Welcome back inside the Cardinal Playbook with assistant women's basketball coach Steve Broughton joining us now. Coach, it has been kind of a tough stretch. I don't know if there's any other way to say it. 2 losses over the weekend to Quincy and to Truman, but I've got to say those 2 teams pretty good teams.
Both really good. We've just part of our schedule that's just been really difficult. We played think 3 ranked teams, and Truman State certainly worthy of being ranked. So it's been tough, but we've got to find a way to beat some of those guys.
Yeah, I'm surprised, and both on the men's and the women's side, that Truman State is not ranked. And is that because they're new to the conference, or is it just we've got so many teams in there that are good?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I know their
And
record's good.
They're not getting votes.
Really, yeah. I know their record is very good. They've beaten some good teams. They've played some other good teams really close. So, there's a lot of good teams probably that aren't ranked, and they're probably just one of those.
We know that Quincy was good. We have seen them the last couple of years, big and physical and all of that. But Truman's new to us. You guys jumped on them on Saturday and had the lead for all the last 5 minutes. Is that particularly heartbreaking, or does it matter how you lose?
Well, no, it doesn't really matter, but that does hurt a lot. We've really got off to a better start than we've been getting off to recently. And we held them to 27 points the first half. They average 81 a game, so you knew they were going to make some shots. We certainly didn't want to give up 56 in the second half, but they're good. We gave them too many open looks. It helped us a little bit to get Amy Briggs in foul trouble in the first half. I think that slowed Truman down a little bit, but when they shot it like they did in the second half, it's tough.
Let's focus on the first half then. What did you do to get off to such a good start?
Well, I think we've struggled, and I think we just came out with a little extra energy, played well early, then we didn't make some shots later in the first half, and they got back within 3 at half, I think. But we did a good job of identifying their shooters, getting out on them, and like I said, the point guard got into foul trouble, which helped us a little bit. But and then they didn't shoot it very well, and I think just a combination of those things, and it was a good start for us.
What did they do down the stretch differently to finally take the lead and then hold you guys off?
Well, I think a lot of it was just making shots. And we gave them some open looks. We didn't cover their inbounds plays a couple of times like I thought we should, and they just made some baskets. They're good shooting. They have a lot of kids that can score from a lot of different positions, and they really spread us out a little bit. And we had trouble helping in the post and getting back out to the 3-point shooters, and eventually that caught up with us.
You mentioned the effort level was good against Truman. It's been kind of hit or miss sometimes, honestly, and how do you combat that?
Well, I don't know for sure. I think the effort's good all the time. Sometimes maybe our focus isn't where it should be. And unlike against Quincy, you can't play the 16th team in the nation and spot them 18 points and really expect to come back and win. That's just a tough task. And when we got off to such a bad start against them, we did cut it to 5. We kept playing, but that's just a tall order.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Quincy because, as you said, it was kind of a slow start again. They jumped on you pretty good and kept you at arm's length the entire game. But that's not to be it's not unexpected. We knew they were good.
Right, they were good. And part of the thing, the first half, we held Lucy Cramsey to 1 shot.
She's a great player.
She's a great player, and when I look back at the tape, they didn't score the last 7 minutes of the first half, so we cut the lead to 6 from 18, and then in the second half, I thought we played them fairly even for a lot of the half, but we didn't have an answer for her. She played really well, and they're talented, and they got away from us at the end.
Steve, this year we have just 1 shot at some of these people. We only play 3 teams twice on the schedule. How do you like that schedule personally? Do you enjoy playing all the teams, or do you wish you had another shot at a Quincy?
Oh. Well, I don't know that I want to play Quincy anymore, but I do think it's a good thing to play everybody. If you're going to have a conference champion, and we still have the 2 divisions, but I like playing everybody, and the double round robin with the teams we play. I guess that's just schedule-wise. It's the way it works out the best.
Right. Our correct me if I'm wrong here, but our opponents we've played twice are Drury, Missouri S&T, and who am I missing? Rockhurst, of course, right here locally. So, okay, we go on the road this weekend.
Right.
And it's a crazy schedule. We have 2 weekends on the road, a weekend at home, then 2 more weekends on the road. This is that 3rd weekend of the 4 we are on the road. UMSL and Maryville. These getting to be critical games for us?
Well, I think so. And we're really similar talent-wise to both those teams, I think. And we're familiar with them. We played them a couple of times a year in the past. Tough places to play, no doubt. But in the past, we've played pretty well on the road, and I expect us to play well against these 2 teams. And we're going to have to. If we don't play well, we're not going to win.
Last year it took UMSL a long-distance shot to beat us at the very end, but they kind of play up and down like we do, or they have in the past, and is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, that's normally a good thing, I think, for us. They're a little bit slow. They slow it down a little bit more this year. They lead they're first in the conference in defense and points allowed. They allow 56 points a game, so they're good defensively. They guard the three very well. One of the best rebounding teams in the conference, and that's something we're going to have to really fight hard to to hold our own with them.
Maryville last year had the Player of the Year. Their post, Detman, is gone now, and again, I would think that would be, at least on paper, a good thing for us.
Right, and she didn't play against us, I don't think,
That's
the
right,
last
you're right.
2 times. Very, very good player. And I think we beat them the first time when they had her. But they lost her. They lost another pretty quick little guard. But they have 3 returning players. They have a player that starts now that was injured last year. They have Shelby Miller, who's a terrific point guard, had 10 threes in 1 game last year. So, they're just a good, solid team, too. There's just no easy outs for us, and in our league for anybody, I don't think. And we're going to have to play better.
Well, we'll look to see what we can do on the road this weekend against UMSL and Maryville, and then after this weekend we go to Wisconsin to play Wisconsin Parkside, and then on the way back we hit Lewis to kind of wrap up another back-to-back road weekend. Steve Broughton has been our guest inside the Cardinal Playbook, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
Hi, I'm Rachel Callaghy, Head Connections Specialist with Welcome Opportunities, the Northland's only target marketing firm that specializes in turning the thousands of new residents who move to our area each year into your customers. We are the advertising option that's never turned off, torn up, or tossed out. At least not yet, anyway. So if you're looking for the most cost-effective way to reach prospective customers before your competitors, give me a call today at 816-883-8633 or visit my website at welcomeopportunities.com.
Poor Boy Oil Company is and always has been locally owned and operated. We promise convenience and service with small town values. We want you to choose Poor Boy again and again, whether you're looking for a hot cup of coffee to help start your day, grabbing lunch at midday, picking up milk at the end of the day, or heading for a Cardinal game any day. We're here to help you get you on your way quickly. Most stores are open 24 hours, so we're here when you need us. Poor Boy Oil Company. Find us around the Northland wherever the Cardinals fly.
Tanner's is new to Liberty, just south of the Highway 152 and I-35 intersection. They're open Sunday through Tuesday from 11 a.m. until midnight and Wednesday through Saturday from 11 until 1:30 a.m. Come in any day for food specials in the spacious dining area. Happy hour specials are served from 2 spots in the building, and the service is fast and friendly. Tanner's of Liberty, just south of the Highway 152 and I-35 intersection. Bases are loaded. Jake Smith facing Andrew Clark. And line at Razin, a possible double play. 4-6-3, and we're out of the inning. Welcome back, everybody, inside the Cardinal Playbook, and our guest in this segment is head baseball coach Mike Stockton. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you. Good to be here.
As we record this, it's like 7 degrees outside. I don't know if you want to talk about baseball or not. Have you guys, in a week of practice or so, even gotten outside yet?
This seems to be a recurring theme every time this year.
Well, we do it in January.
We went from 60 to 6. Yeah. Yesterday it was 60 degrees, and today it's 6.
You guys got outside, though, this weekend, right?
Yeah, we practiced Saturday and Sunday of this week, last weekend. Usually our off day is going to be Sunday, but just because of the weather and seeing what the upcoming forecast was going to be, we decided to go ahead and practice on Sunday.
How did you practice outdoors? I mean, you're not on your field, right?
Right. We played on the football field. It's turf, and so we could utilize that. And I tell you, that's awesome to have that at our disposal, right, to be able to go out on the football field and practice and play. It's great.
Somebody was telling me that you actually scrimmaged out there. You put the plate down in one corner in an end zone, so it's a short right field fence, but boy, you could hit them long to left and center.
Yeah, we hit a few to left field that you could run for a while. We probably could have had 2 inside the park home runs as far as the ball was hit a couple of times, but I mean, you can't ask for anything better. It's a little bit short in right field, but gosh, if you had to, you could play a game out there.
You take your mounds out and everything?
Yeah, we have some portable mounds that we'll use, and it's just great.
Coaching baseball in the Midwest, I mean, you do a lot of wacky things like that.
Yeah, you've got to become creative, and sometimes you have all kinds of gym space, and sometimes you have a little bit of gym space, or one day you've got the whole thing to yourself, and the next thing you know, you're stuck in a small corner somewhere trying to do some stuff. But overall, it's fine.
Let's talk a little bit about the season, what you're expecting from this year's team. I think it's safe to say you were a little disappointed last year, but what's your feeling for this year?
Well, we have big expectations for our group this year, and I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't. We have some nice returners, guys that have gotten a lot of playing time as young guys, and freshmen that are now sophomores that played a bunch for us last year. We have some fifth-year seniors, some red shirts, and those guys have tons of experience under their belt. And then we went out and we got a nice group of junior college guys to come in and be able to make impacts right away. And we have a nice crop of young guys, freshman class too. So, I think we're starting to really balance out our recruiting efforts, and should hopefully definitely be able to put a better product on the field.
You had a pretty nice looking rotation last year, and most of those guys are back. Is pitching your strength?
Well, I would like to say that we've just improved in every area. So I hope to say that we don't have too many weaknesses, but pitching is definitely a strong suit for us, where we have a great mix of guys that have been there, done that. They're returners. They've been in the fire, been around a long time, know what's expected of them. They give great effort. And then we've got some other pieces to complement what we already had. So we have a lot of depth in our pitching staff, and I'm very excited about how those guys could perform this season.
Let me put you on the spot a little bit, and let's talk about maybe who your top 1 or 2 pitchers are and offensive people and all that. So who are your leaders on the mound this year?
Well, I think we have 3 guys right now that really are establishing themselves as our 3 best. Now, when you're a coach and you want to create competition, I don't want to limit them to those 3. The other guys, help yourself to jump up and perform at their level. But I would say that Drew Matrician, David Collins, and Preston Felgate, those 3 guys are really starting to set themselves apart as our 3 best.
How about offensively? Who do you really look toward?
Offensively is where I feel like we've really gotten stronger as a unit. And, of course, Brian Rezin is our best offensive player returning, and we just look to him for a lot of leadership and offense there. He's good on the bases. He hit well in the clutch. I mean, the guy's just a good player for us, so we'll look for strength from him again, although he's currently injured at the moment. But we don't see any reason why he won't be back full speed here, in the next 30 days or so, right as the season's getting ready to kick off. Yeah. Well, we've also toyed around with him being moved over to shortstop. I mean, he's got a great arm, and he's our best defensive player, so it's kind of natural to maybe see if he can move over and play shortstop if we can't get the consistency that we need out of the other guys that are there. So the good news is we have 3 or 4 guys that can possibly play shortstop for us. And now it's just a matter of finding the very best one that can be consistent. I mean, playing shortstop, you've got to have consistency. Right. From the other offensive standpoint, Jared Patton is a new kid for us. He's a transfer, and I mean, he can be pretty offensive at times, we're hoping. Sam Moorman is a returner. I mean, this kid's got a ton of potential, and he shows glimpses of, really helping us out. I mean, I think he's probably, at this moment, our 3-hole hitter. Clark O'Dowd is recovering from a knee injury, and he got to scrimmage with us over the weekend, and he hadn't picked up a bat for a long time because of his injury, and shoot, he hit a double and a triple in the scrimmage, so he's showing signs of getting back. I mean, Luke Lucetti is an outfielder that we've brought in, and I mean, overall, he might be the most explosive, dynamic guy, but him being new, he still has to learn our systems and the things that we're needing from him at his position, but he's got a lot of ability that we think can make a difference in the games for us.
Finally, I want to talk to you about maybe the most prominent player on your team, and certainly the prettiest, and that is Jack Talley Stadium, the home of the Cardinals, Fred Fluke Field. It is your pride and joy, I know, and there are some neat things going on out there. You want to talk a little bit about some of the improvements and some of the things you're doing out there?
Sure. Gosh, anytime I can give a shout out to Jack, I mean, I need to do that because we have a lot of great, backing from our administration here at the school, but I mean, if Jack wouldn't have stepped up the couple of times that he has to help our program, I mean, I don't know where we would be. Yeah. His contributions have made a significant change in the way people see William Jewell baseball. When you can see something tangible out there, brick columns and wrought iron fence and new backstops and dugouts, bleachers, I mean, people see that, and they know that William Jewell baseball is something that people are backing around the college. And so anytime that we can get that message across that there's an importance in William Jewell baseball, I think that just helps our recruiting, and there's so many facets that it helps us with. So we're so thankful to Jack.
People come out this spring, what's the first thing they're going to notice that's new?
Well, I think the first thing they'll notice is that we've put in a wrought iron fence to enclose the ballpark. So now you will have to walk through a gated entrance, and so that is going to be the first thing that you see. I mean, before you could just hop out of your car and it was like cattle just herded wherever you wanted to go, and now you've got to go through an entryway. That's going to be a really neat touch. Gary and Chris Patton are also alumni of William Jewell baseball, and they and their families have put in a nice flower bed and some landscaping that is really going to make the park look beautiful. And so as soon as you walk through the front entrance, you see all this landscaping that's been added thanks to the Pattons. And then once you get into the playing field side, we have bricked the backstop wall, and then we've added a piece on top of the scoreboard that is just going to really make the ballpark look nice as well. And then the final project is we've added a third batting cage.
Awesome. It will be a fun spring, I'm sure, for Cardinal baseball, as Mike Stockton has been our guest inside the Cardinal Playbook. We'll be back with more in a moment.
We've probably saved over $500 with the Hy-Vee Fuel Saver program. We typically buy bread, laundry detergent, soup, cereal, granola bars. I go in to purchase gas and make sure that I get a picture of not only the gas pump that shows my savings, but I get a picture of my receipt as well. With 5 kids, when I can save $60 at the gas pump, it's amazing. Anybody can do it.
What should we do?
Better call our shelter agent.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, you got a sec?
Yeah, sure.
We know what the weather is like in your area because we live in your area. Shelter Insurance. For your auto, home, and life. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Shelter Agent Kimberly Sidden about Shelter's competitive insurance rates.
For the game or after the game, it's Poor Boy Oil Company for your pre- and post-game food and beverage. ConocoPhillips and BP Amoco Fuels get you to the game, and our large vendors give you great food and beverage choices before or after the game. Our small-town roots and family value philosophies help us to maintain the highest standards in customer service and value. Poor Boy Oil Company. Find us around the Northland, wherever the Cardinals fly.
that will do it for this week inside the Cardinal Playbook. Again, the Cardinals on the road Thursday night at the University of Missouri St. Louis, and then Saturday afternoon at Maryville. And you can hear all 4 games live for free on the William Jewell College Sports Network. We will see you next week inside the Cardinal Playbook.